All right, so doing your estimated taxes is actually really easy. All you have to do is get your estimated tax worksheet, and you put your expected adjusted gross income for 2020 here. And then in line 2A, you use this worksheet. This is your self-employment tax deduction worksheet. You fill in these things. Now, when it says multiply line 2 by 92.35%, that's actually, no, I'm just kidding. You don't need to worry about this. That was extreme. You can get rid of that. I'm going to tell you how to super simplify this whole process right now. Hey guys, I hope everybody's well, and I hope you are all as excited as I am for Tax Day. It's here. It's finally here. The teacher gave us a 3-month extension on our assignment, and now the papers are finally due. And like any good student, you just can't wait to turn in your essay and get that straight A, right? You love just doing homework and turning, no? You don't like it? Yeah, actually, no, I was a huge procrastinator in college. But honestly, when it comes to taxes, I try my best to stay on top of it. I don't mind filing them, and I kind of like to get it all done as soon as I can, so it's not looming over my head. But if you are currently kind of sweating it and trying to get everything pulled together for the new July 15th deadline, I'm pulling for you. You can do this. Now, let me give you some tips on how to get ahead of the game for the next time. I've adopted some simple tax preparation practices over the past couple years that have really given me a lot of peace of mind when it comes time to file your taxes. And that is paying quarterly estimated taxes. So now instead of doing taxes once a year, you get to do it 4 times a year. Now the way you're supposed to do quarterly estimated taxes is pretty straightforward. You estimate how much income you're going to make for the year. You divide that number by 4, and then throughout the year, you make payments to the government. And if you don't, they hit you with a penalty. But what do you do if you're a freelancer and you have very sporadic side projects coming in? One year you're only pulling in a couple projects, and the next year you're pulling in 20. How do you estimate? How are you supposed to know how much money you're going to make for the year? I'm not going to waste any time and explain how I was doing this wrong. I'm just going to cut to the chase and tell you how to do it right. And here's the trick. Are you ready? You just go off of last year's tax liability. You don't know how much money you're going to make this year. The IRS has no idea how much money you're going to make this year either. They only have last year's numbers to go off of. You work off of the same thing. Look at last year's tax returns. See how much tax on your self-employment income you paid, and you divide that by 4, and that is 1 quarterly payment. If your adjusted gross income was over $150,000, then you up your tax payment to 110% of what you paid last year. That's it. It's pretty simple. Go off of last year's tax liability, cut it into 4 even parts, and be done with it. Now, what that doesn't mean that's all you're going to owe in taxes this year. If you make more money this year than you did last year, you're going to owe more money in taxes. So still set taxes aside, 25-30%, put that in a savings account, and
do not touch that.
When it comes time to file your taxes, you'll have already made your quarterly estimated payments, and that will count towards your tax bill. But if you did make more money, make sure you have that in the bank to pay up, or else you're going to be in a pickle. Now, what if this is your first year freelancing and you don't have last year's tax returns to refer to? Answer: I wouldn't worry about it. This is your first year in business. Nobody's going to be hounding you to make quarterly payments, because at this point, they don't really know that you're in business. Just like you don't have anything to go off of from last year's tax returns, the IRS doesn't either. So you'll just crunch the numbers before tax day, and then you'll have your baseline to work off of for next year. Now, one extra reminder, don't forget you have to pay your state and local taxes too. It's not fun. at least for most people. And taxes can be really confusing, and I'm not going to pretend to be a tax expert, but I hope that this was helpful. If you did find this helpful, if this answered some of your questions, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and follow along as I continue to learn and as I share some tips and tricks that I pick up along the way. As they say in these pandemic-y times, we're all in this together. Take care, guys. See you in the next video.